That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Zola, the second film directed by Janicza Bravo, which premiered at the 2020 Sundance Film Festival and is being released theatrically courtesy of A24, June 30th, 2021.
Do I know Janicza's first film?
No, and I keep asking you to watch it because you like me along.
I do.
It's called Lemon. It's from 2017. Also, definitely a vibe of its own. And I also really like that film. That film also premiered at Sundance as well.
Okay. The basic story for this movie.
Oh, and you know Janicza from the movie Greener Grass. She's one of those members of the community.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember pointing her out when you saw that.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, the basic story for Zola is it's based on a series of viral tweets from 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the story is about a woman named Zola. She works in a restaurant. Her character's played by
Taylour Paige.
Okay, one day this lady named Stefani shows up, played by
Keough.
Okay, so Zola and Stefani become fast friends when Stefani proposes to Zola that she has a way where they can make like a ton of money and they need to go to Florida to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Zola agrees. So she gets picked up. Zola gets picked up by Stefani, her boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
and another gentleman played by Colman Domingo,
mm-hmm.
who turns out to be a pimp. So we know where this is going. So they spend the next 48 hours or so caught up in like sex work. A lot goes on, but essentially it culminates with the two girls, Zola and Stefani. There's an attempt to kidnap them for even more sex work. When Stefani gets hemmed up, like she gets beat up, the pimp, Colman Domingo's character, ends up shooting the person who's trying to kidnap her.
Dion, played by Jason Mitchell.
And then they leave and go back to Detroit. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the screening you went to, I was fully prepared to go to, but then you were advised no guests were allowed.
Correct.
So I did not get to watch this movie, which is a bummer because the trailer makes this movie look like so much fun.
And it was.
And from what you said, it sounds like it was.
Mm-hmm.
So go off, sis.
Well, I mean, you're a fan of T.S. Madison. She has a small role in there.
I'm a big fan of T.S. Madison.
Just the whole tone, I think, is perfectly realized. So originally this was supposed to be, back in 2015 when Aziah, Zola, Wells, King was the woman who made all these tweets that went viral, like attracting the likes of Ava DuVernay and Missy Elliott and Solange. And James Franco originally was supposed to be directing this, but then, of course, all those sexual assault allegations caused it to be shelved. So I think it's kind of a perfect turn of events that Janicza Bravo ended up directing this. Scripted by Jeremy O. Harris. The tone is kind of a dark comedy, but it's very much kind of a breed of its own. I don't know that you can justifiably call it one thing or the other. It's just, I thought, entertaining. I think Taylour Paige is gorgeous, and there are all these, she's narrating it a bit on her own as Zola, but there are all these moments where the film stops and she kind of fills us in, and there's always kind of some kind of a punchline to that. Keough, who, of course, is Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, but you've seen in stuff. She's in all kinds of things. You never see The House That Jack Built?
No.
She is doing this very uncomfortable black girl appropriation that is also very fun to watch, but they're clearly throwing this woman under the bus. Colman Domingo, I think, is also very entertaining, who's playing it. There's this slight air of menace about him because, as we're told, she doesn't even know who he is, and when she shows up, he's introduced as Stefani's roommate. Which there are just so many moments like that where a detail is revealed and you just laugh because it's like, okay. And then it's only when Zola when it's very clear that they do go out stripping and make, peanuts, and then she finds out that Stefani and he's referred to as X have created a back page ad.
Colman Domingo's X.
Yes, have created a back page ad where she's like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then he busts out this thick Nigerian accent, which is his kind of like violent thug persona, which I think is also a lot of fun because it comes out randomly. Nicholas Braun plays Derrek, who is Stephanie's boyfriend who comes along, who's kind of like a wet rag. They drop him off at this shithole motel and to be on his own while he's melting down Stephanie's phone because it's clear that his girlfriend is having sex with other people, but whatever. There he meets Jason Mitchell, who you know from a ton of things too, but straight out of Compton. And he takes an interest that's very suspect to Derrek, and it comes back to bite him in the ass because he's the one who puts out he requests the girls and tries to kidnap them and kind of make them work for him, kind of thing, is what I deduce.
Jason Mitchell's character is the one who tries to kidnap the girls, and he's the one who X shoots at the end.
There's also this white woman that Colman Domingo is like booed up with at this house in Florida that is kind of entertaining. It reminded me of Spring Breakers, of course, the Harmony Korine film, but there's kind of a David Lynchian vibe, especially with the Domingo pimp, kind of like a Lynch pimp. I thought of Blue Velvet a couple times with kind of the weirdness of it. Another scene I really liked is Taylour Paige is stripping, and the clientele is raggedy, and this meth-mouthed looking white man comes up and tips her, and she's got her legs like spread eagle in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, you look just like Whoopi Goldberg." Which
there's an Instagram page called Rawdiculous that I follow that does like, he superimposes like celebrity heads on other people's bodies.
Yeah, I follow that
and
too.
Whoopi is often the subject.
Well, when she's playing, what's her character's name from Ghost? Oda Mae Brown. But I've recently been sifting through a bunch of 80s work of Whoopi Goldberg. She was a beautiful woman. There was a...
Yeah, no shade to Whoopi.
Yeah, but it's just the look on Taylour Paige. So Taylour Paige, she played Viola Davis's girlfriend in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yes,
Also starring
a beautiful
Colman Domingo.
woman.
Yes. I think this is kind of hopefully a star-making performance for her because I very much enjoyed the
You mentioned there are also scenes where Stefani is telling the story through her eyes.
Well, it's almost exclusively through Zola, but if you read through... So the tweets, there was a series of 148 tweets in 2015. David Kushner wrote also an article on it in Rolling Stone that kind of showed that there were some discrepancies in her tweets, and Aziah Wells had, I think, since came out and said she embellished a little bit about it. But the white girl, whose real name I'm not remembering, they give Riley Keough a moment, which is a very short montage of, and we're told that she went off on Reddit explaining her side of the story, because this went viral, so she responded. And they throw her under the bus, but in the best way possible, because her details are real scattershot, and you see, we go back and revisit key scenes where she's introducing Zola, who tries to do her dirty, but it's just bizarre and a lot of fun, and I don't know.
Well, I brought it up because what you said was funny. Like, she sees her as like...
Oh, yeah, we
she
bring up
calls
Zola.
her trash, so then when we see her come out of the apartment, she's wearing a trash
like
bag.
she's wearing trash bags and she's got all her stuff in trash bags.
Yeah, or when she first meets her at the restaurant, she has like, her hair's all raggedy and... Anyway, so you really like this movie?
It was shot by Ari Wegner, who also was the cinematographer on Peter Strickland's In Fabric, which I really liked, and William Oldroyd's Lady Macbeth, also highly recommended. Mika Levi did the soundtrack, of course, of Under the Skin and Jackie. As this film that is based on tweets, this is, I think, its own vibe, and I don't know, I was just really into it.
Well, what would you give it?
4 out of 5.
All right. Well, I'll definitely watch it when I can. Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye.